Good day everyone, welcome to another episode of Banquet for Fools. I was a little out of it yesterday, in case you haven't noticed. But that's what I get for being caffeinated after midnight and thinking that I am still in my 20s. But still, I admit that might not have been the best of first impressions. But if you spend enough time on my channel, you will find that my good days and my bad days are not actually all that far apart. So, I managed to salvage that recording. And it is what it is. But that's just a consequence of being me, and right now I am these guys. Now the last thing I did yesterday was try to briefly tell you how the magic making system works. But I did not try to actually do anything with it. So let's actually try that. You see, we start with some float gems. Each one has its own specific mineral value. I'm pretty sure that's because later on in the game there are going to be spells that have pretty high costs, so you're supposed to hoard these ones and only grind them down when it's absolutely necessary. Or maybe there are actually limited slots for spells. I do not know actually how that works. But let's go in here anyway. Now, reading over this again. Siphon seems to be a way for you to regain spirit during combat, which would be a very nice thing to have. And it makes whoever you're siphoning from drunk. We're going to have to see about it. With your spell level of 19, I could potentially increase the efficiency. This looks like it's halfway, so 100 maybe? Oh, there it is. 1 bar for 30 health. I don't actually know whether you're draining the health or something else. But still, sources of healing in this game are in much greater supply than sources of spirit, so that's something to keep in mind. What I wanted here is the wine rug. I can currently make 160 minerals, which is just short for this. So let's take a look around, see if we can find more gems. And maybe we try this again. So we are here. Started from the barracks over here. That one still has a whole bunch of locked chests that we need to get back to. Also, since we are on the topic of magic, you see this bar here with 3 pips. That is the spirit, basically the source of your magic. And every spell is going to use a full bar, maybe multiple. And the way you get essence, aside from consumable things, is through various things dying. So you slowly regain a little bit during battle. However, you see that little thing just crawling on the floor? Look at this. I walked over it, killed it, and now Borka absorbed some of the essence. I find it really weird and also really fascinating that the devs just took this tiny little inconsequential background thing that has been present in games since possibly the earliest days of Diablo 1. Just something fun that gamers always do for fun. And then they just worked it organically into the game. Anyway, enough gushing about things. Let's keep exploring. Because there is still a lot for us to explore over here. For example, there's something in here. We can also choose to lock the door. It's not gonna do anything for us. And we are here. Oh, I just love it. Look at how the shadows change. Oh, this game is so beautiful. It's good to see a mushroom farm at the Forten. So, yeah, if you remember, these elves with moth wings basically live their lives underground. So, of course, they're gonna have a mushroom farm. And here's a chest. Nothing else, so gonna park Angelica here. I think it was Angelica. Oh, it was Fee actually, with the lockpicking. Okay. Okay, you're coming this way. Sneak. We got some mushroom river apps. A lantern. A whole bunch of mushrooms. And even more river apps. So, cause you have the field assembly kit, you are able to make use of these materials. So I should keep it with you. But a guard headband, you can just wear it. Look nice and fashionable. A bronze ring, that is good for selling. And the mushroom river apps, these are basically special ammunition. And they deal 3 damage and stop the enemy from moving for 3 seconds. I imagine if you had a full team of sling users, you could possibly lock the enemy in place forever. That would be funny to see. Now, since I don't have anyone who uses slings, I can just keep this and sell them later. It's pretty interesting that you can sell almost anything at vendors, but with regular ammunition they only take full stacks, but with these special ones you can sell them individually. Alright, so nothing else for us here. We just robbed the mushroom farm. They're gonna forgive us. We are on an important mission after all. And here we are at the main square. We have a starting amount of 250 emeralds. And especially at the early game, we are going to need to make very good use of it. Because until I get some more dexterity and lockpicking... Oh, hello. Hold, I have a message for you. The witch Valentina wishes you to attend upon her. There is no haste. She might be able to help you with your task. Very well. I do know where to find her. What was I saying? Oh, right. Especially at the early game. Your funds are limited, so you really have to think about what you want to buy. At the very beginning, what we want is armor. Because you do start with everything, weapons and tools, based on what you get at character creation. All except armor, so very first order of business. Break some more barrels. But right after that, we go in here And this is where we find all the armor. Oh, look at this camera angle. It's so wonky. Final Fantasy VII used to love putting these weird indoors camera angles. Really makes me think of that. Topod into you as well. So Borka has a little bit of stone wood skill. And we got a light stone wood armor. That's gonna take half of all our money. It reduces evasion by 20, but gives quite a substantial amount of armor. So for what we are doing, we kinda need it. And as you can see, there appears to be an unlimited stock of every item. It's just a matter of finding out where to buy them. And now, gonna equip you. Looking very nice. Real lamellar samurai armor. I dig it. And we do have a little bit left over. So now if I wanted, I could buy one more article of armor for someone. I'm just gonna go with light armor, because that's what I like. So now you have a little bit of survivability. That is possibly good. And now we exit, because we really ran out of money here. 51. But interestingly, we cannot sell at every vendor. We have to find specific ones. It's usually the ones that have an emerald displayed at their shop. And all they do is just buy stuff. There we go. And I kinda don't want to. Well, maybe you. I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually matter whose inventory you drag it from. It always uses the highest number here from the store discount. But I just like doing it this way. Yeah, sells for 16. And now we have a tiny bit of money. That's fair enough. What do you all have for sale? You're selling blankets and charm bells. Blankets are important, because when you're out and about, you can click here to pass the time. But you only heal if you have a blanket, so that is something to consider, especially when you're going on a larger outing. And charm bells are used by people like Fee, who have the binding skill to bind enemies Pokemon style. Hopefully you will see how it works in action. You are selling alcohol and food, and also some scrolls. You see, here's the Vine Rock scroll. Costs 31. But if I can make it, I can just cast that skill on demand. That should be better. Here we have all sorts of ammunitions. At least it is very cheap. The basic ammunition for a full stack. You will end up going through a lot of that, because these starter weapons barely do any damage. With the ranged weapons especially, all their damage comes from the ammunition, doesn't give any bonuses, and the basic arrows are frankly a little shit. You're selling globes. These are also special ammunitions with elixirs. And all of these are for debuffing. You can I think, go the whole game without them, so we'll probably do that. You are selling instruments. In case you have someone that you want to pick that skill up later. We might just do that since, technically, all of these skills are passive and thus free. It just occupies a fast use item slot. You are selling equipable trinkets and gems. Okay, that's nice. It's a little weird that all of these have the same cost. You obviously want to grab the one with the highest value.
I have no.
Let's grab one. Just for our purposes. And give it to you. And now you have 214 minerals. That we'll have to do. Oh, kitty. Still, 10 out of 10 game. So let's go back to the Vaultry. Here we are. And now, gonna right click the mortar and pestle. And then left click on these. And you see, all those gems turned into minerals. So now if I approach the tree again, I can take the vine rug. Can I increase? I can increase the duration a little bit. Quite a bit actually. But the spell description is actually generous. You see, it doesn't dissipate as long as you are still standing on it, so we can get away with the low duration spell and just go through it quickly. Increasing the radius by 2 seems to be the most that we can do. And get the duration up 3 seconds. Yeah, this looks nice. Now the most interesting thing here is that you actually have to draw the rune of it yourself and give it a name. So it's kinda like a customization for it. We just draw something. We can use this to undo it. I would kinda like there to be a button to just randomly generate it. Or just have a basic one that is the same as the name of the effect. For those that don't really want to bother this much into micromanaging, just a thought. So I'm just gonna name this one Vine Rug. And maybe just do a rectangle for it, because it's a rug. And now I'm gonna create the spell. It has a spirit cost of 1. And now we have a new spell that is in our spellbook. Okay, and now the effect went away. I do have one question here though, since we're here. Okay, it doesn't seem like I can actually modify this spell once I make it. And since it is gone from the tree, I cannot gain it again. So maybe that's the point of it all, that you actually have to think about the spells that you get before you get them. Because every choice is final? Well, that's something to think about. Perhaps with someone else that we give magic to later. Okay, what happened here? Your portrait is out of whack. Let's click here to reset. Okay, wouldn't mind there being a button to lock these. Just so you don't accidentally do this. But anyway. So if I were to, say, cast a spell here, I think I should do it when we are outside. Don't want to bother anyone. So back down we go. And I do happened upon a little secret here. Look at this. We can actually get inside here. And there's a chest. So Fee goes in here. Got a stick, some emeralds, mulberry gin, stuffed squash, a biscotti, and a lantern. Greatness. Lanterns are going to be put here in the quick slot, and they're gonna light things up when we're underground. There are a couple places for that. We have a mulberry gin, which removes ailments. And we got some food. What's interesting is that food actually lasts for 8 days. So you can just stockpile them forever. But most of these are functionally the same. Gives you back some stamina. Gives stamina recovery, some health, and +1 spirit. So it's technically a instant cast button. As long as you have food, you always have a means to cast spells, which is nice. You're currently having mod mead and regular mead. Basically are healing items, which kinda means that everyone is a little drunk all the time. Which is what is probably expected of guardsmen. Now let's keep going. See, slowly gaining spirit. The way forward is gonna be over here. So let's explore everything until then. Sometimes talking with NPCs is going to get us new stuff unlocked. .9 against 7. Almost have it. Speak with Mihal if you desire a boat. I've none to give. Yes, I know. We can go up here. Here's a hammer. And we can go up there. Into that watchtower. There's also a couple things. Just gonna loot everything. We're gonna need them way more than they will. Because we are going outside. And the outside is dangerous. Bunch of little bugs. Let's talk to Sissy. Where away, Simona? On a task for the Pavura, outside these good walls. Bad luck that all the boats are spoken for. 3 guards took the last one not a week ago. Indeed, Miha has tasked us with borrowing their boat. You will see them before I then, for they are assigned to lighthouse duty until the Pavura's return. If you meet with Quez, that knave, tell her that I have not forgotten her debt to me. We were playing cards the night before they set out on assignment, Her emeralds ran low, and she bet her onyx ring on a weak hand. The ring is mine now, by rights. Well, if she has wronged you, she should pay up. Fool I was. I said she could give it to me in the morning, so as not to wake the whole barracks digging through her packed bags. But when I awoke, she was gone, and the ring with her. Sly thing to abuse my trust so. Well, we are going to the lighthouse anyway, so if we see her, we will mention this breach. If you remember, as let it worry you, I fear I was taken off on a rant at the mention of your journey. Farewell in the wilderness. The road through Rosafir will be your safest option. Our thanks, Sissy. Indeed. Now, we do have a boat here, which is actually going to be our little fast travel system. There's most likely gonna be a boat in every settlement, close to the water anyway. But we are gaining our own boat, so we can explore in free form over the water. But still, knowing where the boats are is important, so I'm gonna put a pin on this. There we go. Now we know. And the witch that wanted to talk to us actually lives in here. I know that. Hello?
Okay.
Thank you for heeding Nelusone's message. I'll not delay you long. It's not every day a witch requests our attention, nor crosses our path at all, come to think of it. Indeed, we are not numerous. In fact, I'm the only one on this island. Before Ersipel left, he briefed me on the Invarens. I saw you following Mihal out of the bar and guessed you had been tasked with the search. I think I might be able to aid you. There's more to this island than meets the eye, and your bronze weapons will only carry you so far. True that. But first I need your help. Naturally. We would be grateful for any aid you could give. We are new to this island and the dangers it holds. Alas, it is into those dangers I would send you. Near the Forten lies an old Lachovinian tomb, and deep inside the map is carved into stone. Well, should be carved into stone. I've not seen it myself, but my order's records are a trustworthy source. If you can make a chalk rubbing of this map and bring it back to me, we can begin preparations. Preparations for what? I can only tell you partial truths until I have deciphered the map, and I fear you will not like them. Allow me to play the cryptic witch, and trust I will explain when I know more. Very well, we can do this for you. Not for me, for you. You will understand when you return. Please, take this chalk and parchment. You'll need it when you reach the map. And we received a chalk rubbing kit for your inventory. Will a chalk rubbing be detailed enough? Yes, just be sure to get it all. Oh, you'll need this as well. It came from a grave robber, which may seem suspect, but they tend to know more of ancient Lachovinians than any of us. Nature of the trade, I suppose. It will get you into the mausoleum. And we got a chalk drawing. We'll look at it in a minute. If you're not familiar with Serpent in the Staglands lore, the Lachovinians are basically blood mages that serve the carrion god, if I remember right. Again, this game seems to be taking place in the same universe, but in a different timeline than Serpent in the Staglands, so I only know a couple of things here and there. But still, it's very interesting how they weave the lore. Very well, we'll return when we have the map. So, now we have a bunch of stuff to do. But as you can see, we have no quest log. This is all we have, because this is what the Pavura gave us, the main quest. If you think about it, it's kinda like what you have in Fallout 1, finding the water chip. It's just a piece of paper on your Pip-Boy, telling you that this is important. It's the same one with this one. And every note that you take during the conversation with that little note button is gonna be in here. And between conversations, you have to add the note and manually assemble yourself things to follow. I'm actually going to do this and label this one fairy noises. You're gonna see what I mean by that. So now we go. We have our things. So now we have a chalk rubbing kit that we are gonna be able to use, and we were also given a drawing. And this is a solution for a puzzle. You can actually click here to pin to dock. And it just stays here. It's very handy. Got another little house in here. Nothing lootable except some books. I'm not actually gonna take these, because I already know what they are. They're just lore books. Not actually worth the money to sell, so you take them if you want to read about the game. Here we have a stonesmith. They are going to be our best friends for quite a while. Here for repairs, 'tis folly to depart with dented weapons and torn armor. In Vimona is not like Minorev, where guards are given fine shining armor not for survival, but to display the wealth of the houses. You are no stranger to the capital city, for you have the truth of it. For my part, I'd rather be light on my feet and wear as little armor as possible. A few of the guard here have much the same mindset. There is merit to quickness, I'll grant you. I repair weapons as well as armor, so stop by any time you've a need for repairs, even if you've done some mending yourself on the road. Grateful we would be if you'd look at our equipment. So now we can use their services, and we pick between repairing weapons and repairing shields and armor. And as you can see, repairing here actually costs us stuff. Whereas, if you use hammers to repair yourself, the amount you repair is actually dependent on your skill with the weapon itself, so at the start of about 110, you get maybe like 20 to 25 durability with a single hammer. So you do the calculations on whether you want to get back here, or just keep buying hammers and doing it yourself. There is probably merit in both of them. And here we got... Oh, you heard that little sound? That was the signal that Borka has for another full bar of spirit. Let's talk to this one. Good evening, strangers we are as yet. I am Danut Villazur, though not but a distant cousin to our Pavura Erzipel, and an empty purged one at that. You needn't scrape to me unless you have a boon to beg. Well met, Danut Villazur. We have only recently arrived to Invimona and the guard here, though we served House Lazur in Minorev before this. It is good to see a face fresh and eager. Have you need of a chanter? Of chanters I have heard tell, but none have crossed my path. We are often found in rustic places that cannot afford witches to solve their ghost and goblin problems. Our gifts are fairly limited, I am sorry to say. Nothing spectacular, more of the resisting nature. With enough focus I can use my blood or bits of hair to imbue objects with some of my skill, which is a lucrative ability. but few lords are clamoring to hire someone whose main power is resisting the effects of divine weapons and spotting imp illusions. And what services do you provide the Pavura and the Guard? My words create a barrier around this good Forten to shield us from the notice of the Gravekeepers. I cannot kill their ghost minions, but I can keep small spaces hidden from their reach. When I do not walk the perimeter chanting, I craft runic scrolls for healing the effects of lingering amongst the undead. So the Gravekeepers are basically these leech-like entities that are constantly raising the dead around them, like in an aura effect. They are very dangerous. And the ghosts are equally dangerous, because they're gonna infect us with a debuff that goes away very slowly and decreases maximum health. So if possible, we should either avoid the ghosts or fight them from a distance, which is thankfully entirely possible. I admit we had not met with many of these ghosts in Minorev. Minorev's witches keep plague of the wandering undead under control, thus why the capital has thrived so. You would do well to walk wide around the Gravekeeper dens when outside my protective barrier. You will know them by the uncanny visions that flood your periphery. All who carry their touch are affixed with debilitating fatigue, and of course will join their unending purgatory if they die. Of course, all know this. Tis the stuff of children's tales. Simona might resist the effects of the ghost, but it is not a certain thing. And as you can see, because I put some points into Aura, we have a new dialogue option. And gain some XP, which is very nice. What is the nature of the scrolls you mentioned? I pin to the walls of the Forten. I craft smaller scrolls to wear upon the brow like a linen wrap. The runes soak into the bearer. And will they repel ghosts? Nay, you need incense for such a task, but the scrolls will cure you of the ghost touch. Very well, we must away, but before we leave, might we commission some scrolls? Indeed, 'tis a fair request. Alas, my scrolls are spoken for by a patrol already stricken with the ghost touch. Is there somewhat we might do to free your time to make more? You'll find us quick about any task you set us to. Deliver these scrolls to the stricken guards, and once they are cured and back at their posts, time will I have to craft more. I daren't be distracted when the rank is low, not even to leave, but Erzipel would desire you this aid. So basically, little errand. And then we can buy more stuff from him. Our thanks, give us the scrolls and we will see them delivered. I for one would not wish to meet these ghosts without a cure. In the lower barracks the guards lie. They will be eager to see you about this good task. And we gained 3 runic head wraps. Look for our return. Alright, and now we go all the way back up to the barracks. And in case you're wondering, no, this is not going to be the walking speed throughout the entire game. It's only inside populated areas. Outside we are actually going to run. Because we got places to be. And sometimes it's a little tricky to click on stuff. And now down in the barracks, we are gonna see to these guards. You see, they actually have something wrong with them, and they're not actually asleep like all the others. It's little details like this that I really enjoy. Forgive me, I've not much strength for words now. Yeah, that's me every day. But still. chanter has tasked me to give you a runic scroll. Relief. You'll rejoin the rank before long, my friend. And that's one down. And as you can see, they actually have the head wrap around them. And they're gonna be cured. If we stay around for long enough, we can actually see it, I think. Haven't actually tried that. Beware the ghosts that your fate does not mirror mine. Well, the chanter has tasked me to deliver your cure. That would be most welcome. And that's a 2. And you're the 3rd. And we actually know this guy. Simona, is that you? I've not seen you since our last bout on the training sands. I bested you then, but you'd make short work of me, as I am. I remember that fight differently, but I'll let you have it, as you're ill. What ails you? Rushed by ghosts, out on patrol, surrounded we were. For how long does this curse linger? It's never the same, may happen an hour, or a week, or a month. The chanter says a strong aura will weaken the effects. Aud fares the best of us, but still remains slug-a-bed for all his mighty aura. Well, we can cure that. My thanks, I will don it at once. We will be training again ere long. And now, all of them are gonna be cured. Hooray for us. And now, if we go back to the guy, we're gonna claim our reward. It's a little further down. You are going back up, so let's intercept you. Do you know when the runic scrolls will be ready? I'm eager to have a cure for ghost melodies. Press on me not. I must wait for the stricken guards to claim their posts. When they're well, I will craft your scrolls. Very well. Now technically the quest is done. But we need to wait until the guards actually wake up. So this is the armorer. And this is the weapon shop. We are going to be coming back here at some point. Well, I do have enough right now to grab one of these. You know, I'm just gonna buy this scepter. And give it to you. So you will be much better. Okay, this one doesn't give as much evasion reduction, but breaks way more armor. I think I'm okay with that. So now, you do have enough carry weight, so I can keep this one as a backup. And now we are down on emeralds again. Such is the life of the guard. Now we also have an inn over here. If we didn't ask for free beds at the barracks, we could go in here and pay for a bed. But I am going to talk to the innkeep anyway, because we do gain some additional stuff here. Bold you were to answer Mihal's call for volunteers. You'll be wanting food for the road, I'll gather. I've summoned for us here what's left after feeding the mercenaries. Rumor has it the Pavura paid their fees with 2 barrels of Peppura. I only hope it's enough. I've no wish to see the Forten surrounded by the thirsty spears of House Renazin. Bad time to be low on supplies if we're under siege. We can last off the mushroom farms, as our great-grandfathers did in the silence. Now, I'll not pry as to where you're off to, but I've somewhat you like for the road. Now for Simona, I've an amphora of picked radish in rice. So basically you're gonna give every race their preferred foods, which are, you know, all functionally identical, but still nice little touch of flavor, literally in this case. For Borka, roasted turnips. Fresh peeled radish in rice for Angelica. And for Fee, I've cooked out some stuffed squash. Those amphoras will not stay fresh over long, so keep an eye on their shelf life. I've marked the day for you on the jars. I'll look for your return. Tobadoo, guards. So, we can ask now. Can we rest upstairs? Tired of the barracks already, eh? Of course, take any bed you please. No charge for the guards of Lazur. We'll take you up on your kind offer. If we want to sleep. But not right now. What I do want to do right now, because I have found it out in my previous attempts at this game, is that if we actually go upstairs here of the inn, we're gonna be privy to something here. And the map marks a mausoleum in the forest north of here, and one of our 4 last Lumenin goblets in the chamber below. When we gather them all, that'll be one to you, Una, one to Arama, one to me, and one for the guild's display room. Peace, Alvar, we know the plan. We'll grab the goblets, and none will be the wiser. Not with Lazur and half the guard away. He only cares about his pepura at any rate. We'll wipe the smug smiles off their faces, and they'll have to let us join. A real Lachovinian goblet will be the talk of the guild. But if we're caught, did you hear somewhat? Over there, what do you think you're doing, nosing about where you don't belong? Well, as it so happens, the Pavura's law forbids grave robbing. So all of these people are criminals, which means, as guards, we are obligated to beat them up and turn them in for money. It's harsh, but it is what we had to do. We're not grave robbers, we're adventurers. You plan to steal from the dead. Grave robbers you are. We can't let them leave to report us. I'll not survive Exile Island. And Exile Island is where everyone goes that breaks the law. And now we can actually choose the approach that we want to take. It's like I said yesterday. If we say Exile Island is a fair punishment, that we will start the fight with the setting already on stun, so we don't have to worry about actually killing them. But if we choose this one, exile is not your fate, then we start with the killing mode. And usually you don't gain anything by killing humanoid enemies, so exile it is. So we start, there's 3 of them. We gain the strength buff. Okay, you started yourself with some vine armor. Let's be mindful of that. Okay, we are not really in a nice position here. Okay, we should pull them back here a little bit. doesn't actually do as much knockdown as I thought it would. But still, it does quite a bit of damage. And you are stunned. So you see, this one is out of the picture. But since it is stunned, they're gonna wake up after 24 hours, so that is how long you have to report them to the authorities. Oh, did you see that? Sometimes that happens. If you go there and pick it up, the red ones are health and the green ones are spirits, so a little bit of in-combat regeneration stuff. If you can make it. Okay, you're also stunned. Let's kick you down. Nice damage. And I also almost get my action back by the time they get up. Okay, what did you do? Okay, now we deal that with all of them. We should report this to the nearest authority. They'll be able to send them to Exile Island. And swiftly, as they'll flee when they awaken. Indeed. But before that, gotta loot everything. Got a locked chest here. Ah, what are you doing over there? We got places to be. And you're just there, okay. Everything is good. And then we can just go down here to the regular floor of the inn. And from here, go backwards and tell the marshal about it. I probably should also go to sleep. Heal up a little bit before going outside.
Then.
We have several felons to report. Fine work. Lazur is most fortunate to have such diligent guards. We'll send someone out to collect them. Hold fast a moment and I'll send a dispatch. The carter is on their way now. Your part is done, and done well. The purse you'll find at the forfeits board upon their return, in half a day or so. We'll look for it then. So, we have done our duty. And if you look at the forfeits board right here, you see, these are the 3 would-be grave robbers. It's pretty interesting that they already knew their crimes before they were committed. But that's just how great guards they are, I guess. And now we wait until their purse is ready. We're gonna sleep until then. And now we choose, you see, every hour we sleep is 10% healing. That's very nice. Okay, we are firmly in the night, so let's sleep for 7 hours. So we wake up at dawn. There we go. Everyone is fully healed. It's 6 in the morning. Our purse is still not ready. But that's okay. Now let's start moving outside. Finally, do the stuff that we are set out to do. Shroomers at the gate. Alright, now we get some shroomers, and ideally, Fee is gonna be able to charm at least one of them. But for that we need to bring them to low health. Okay, you see that little sweat drop kind of thing on the Shroomer? The more the enemies attack, the more fatigued they are gonna be, and that decreases their overall effectiveness. So if you can't beat an enemy right away, you just kite around them, make it attack a couple times until it is tired. Very nice. Oh, and we accidentally left things on stun. We don't gain anything by stunning enemies that are not humanoid, so this one's gonna wake up next day and be very angry. So let's not have that. Let's kick this guy away. Okay, I actually want to go for Fee here. Maybe we are already too late. Oh no, here's some more Shroomers. Because you actually have to use the charm bells once they are sufficiently low. And it's much better if you do it manually. Just look at this. I switch to the charm bells and it will actually say whether they will resist the attempt, make it a coin toss, or they will get charmed. So let's keep an eye on them. Let's do a rally here. Nice damage. Now let's switch back to this. Oh, look at that. Now this one is almost dead. This one as well, so we are able to bind these. But these ones are just a little damaged. So it's a coin toss whether we succeed in binding. And these charm bells are consumable, but you only consume them once the binding is successful. So that is something. I'm going to take you, and you will see the portrait is going to appear here. Boom. Now we have a Shroomer with us. Bound follower cost 3, 43.5% of the cap. Which means I can actually grab another one. Let's try that. Okay, roll to bind. And bind. And now we are completely full on follower cap. And that's about it. Now we're gonna be running around with 2 Shroomers. One of them is already a little damaged. Not much we can do about it. Like I said, I haven't really found a way to heal your followers. Not even by resting. Which I find rather odd. But I suppose it's also a little fitting. Because you don't want to keep the low-level ones around forever. Well, alright. That is the road that we need to take. Obviously, since this is a CRPG, going off the beaten path is always something that you're able to do. Yeah, until we get some upgrade with the combat techniques that actually tell these guys to attack. They are kind of on their own, and their AI is not quite as sophisticated as ours. Alright, so all Shroomers dispatched. Very nice. We got some berries over here. It's a little interesting that food has a shelf life but berries that are technically food. That's gonna heal you. They don't have a shelf life. We got some frogs hopping around. They're technically non-combatants. We don't need to do anything with them. But you can kill them if you're low on spirit or something. There's a child over there. Let's not bother them. Someone dropped the key. Oh, interesting. Fee passed the rogue check. It's kinda like a passive perception check. Sometimes you will get these. They either find items or warn you of danger. Oh, have a menestro here. They are nice. A merry day to you, brave guard of Lazur. How fares the Forten? Strong as ever, the Forten remains equal to any threat that approaches its gates. Indeed, I have seen you fight. One of your guards saved me from a vicious horde of Bakas, not 50 poles south of here. Anna her name was. She and her spear moved like a river, graceful and deadly. I linger on this road to catch glimpses of her at the gates. Ah, someone has a crush. Your music would raise the morale of the Forten, no doubt. You might enter the gates and request a code in return for your songs. My thanks, friend, but I cannot go to the gates yet. I promised to write a song in Anna's name, but alas, inspiration has deserted me. I shall return first to the Insera. I wrote a lovely ballad while lingering there. Slowed everyone to a halt while I was playing. They were so moved, well, stilled really. So now we are able to buy songbooks from this guy for everyone who doesn't already have one. So you see, these two have one, but these two don't. Okay, you need a songbook. Or do you really? You kinda do. It never hurts to have one for everyone. Here you are, Borka. I will linger on this road for a time if you wish to fill your new book with some of my compositions. And now we get to buy new songs. You see, these are very expensive. But considering that they are permanently active, it is worth the price. Got some summons, some horn abilities. We have no money left, but we will see you later. And I think I will also see you later. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, be sure to leave them down below the video. I would be very grateful if you left the video a like. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.